One of the most important things with your HydroWorx pool is going to be taking care of the water chemistry. If you do not take care of water chemistry, you'll have problems with your heater, the pool shell, even treadmill components. What we use, and we actually supply with all the pools, is the Taylor test kit. I call it the granddaddy of test kits. You're able to test for everything, and it is very accurate. Test strips and things like that are okay. They're not going to be near as accurate as this test kit. First thing you want to do when you're testing your pool water is you want to kind of work backwards on the test kit here. It has every test on here labeled out, different color sections. We're going to start with the alkalinity, which is what you want to get in checked first. The reason for that is your alkalinity is going to help control your pH, and your pH is going to help control your sanitizer, or your, most likely bromine is what you're going to be using. So we're going to start with the alkalinity here in the green area, and I'm actually going to read right off the lid, kind of cheat a little bit. Rinse and fill large comparator tube to the 25 milliliter mark. You can see obviously large, small. 25 is halfway on this one. Has a 25 milliliter graduation and a 44. So we're going to fill to the 25. And you want to be pretty accurate with this. Every extra drop of water or less drop of water is going to change your test a little bit. The first thing we do is add 2 drops of R007. All the little droppers are labeled with numbers and also color coordinated with the test you're doing. So we're in the green area, we've got the green caps. So we'll add 2. Move to our next step, add 5 drops of R008. Sample should turn green. Okay, just swirl that up a little bit, make sure it's a nice even green color. Next step, at R009 drop-wise and counting each drop. So really what you're doing here is you're adding a drop, and you're going to keep adding drops one by one until this turns from green to red. And when you get to that point, remember that number that you get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close. I'm going to add one more, see if it gets a little darker red. Okay, yeah. I'm going to call that 9 drops. What it tells you here on the lid is take that number and multiply it by 10, and that'll be your reading for your your alkalinity. So we have 90. The range you want to be within is 80 to 120. 90 is pretty good. It could be bumped up a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it alone for right now. We're going to move on to the next test, which is your pH test. Rinse and fill large comparator tube to the 44 milliliter mark. Once again, you want to be pretty accurate with the amount of water you have in the test tube. Okay, we're in the red area, so the red caps. Add 5 drops of R004. Now, as soon as you cap this and flip it over to really mix it up, that first initial color you see is actually going to be your pH reading. The longer you wait, it'll actually change color. So you can see here we're around about 7.6 on this one, which is pretty good. 7.4 is really where you want to be. That's perfect. If you're anywhere between 7.2 to 7.8, I really wouldn't get that excited about it. So once you start dropping below 7.2 or getting above 7.8, you want to adjust. And that's the same thing. If you're low, you want to buy pH increaser. If you're high, pH decreaser. Now, your pH, if it gets off for extended periods of time, it'll actually it can attack the stainless on the treadmill in the pool, or heating elements if you have an electric heater. Even on the gas heater, it can attack the inside of that. So you want to definitely stay on top of that. The next thing we would do is test for your sanitizer. Right now we have a fresh filled pool, so there is nothing in it. So we're going to shock the pool. Whenever you initially fill a pool, like if you take it down for a service or maintenance where you drain it completely, fill it back up, you're going to want to hit it with a chlorine shock initially. Once you get all these other things in check, hit it with that shock. The reason you test all these other ones first is because once you add that chlorine shock, it's going to raise all your levels. It's going to take, it's going to take your test kit all over the place. If I shock the pool now and then try to test my bromine, it's going to show up probably purple or some crazy reading on the test. So you always do start with these other ones, get those in check first, and then hit it with your chlorine shock. The chlorinated shock usually needs about a good 24 hours of filtration to calm back down until it's safe to get into. We recommend more along the lines of the chlorinated shock. It's a lot stronger and actually works a lot more efficiently. There is also what's called non-chlorinated shock. That is not good for the initial fills like this. That's more for if you come in the morning, you have patients scheduled all day, and your brominator ran empty overnight. You can use that shock and swim 15 minutes later, but still, relatively close to that time frame, you want to hit it with some chlorinated shock because extended use of the